When People Power began, he saw it as an inconsequential, irrelevant group. He said these young people here, they should just go to, what did he say, Sabrina? Hey, these young people here are a force to reckon with. And that's why, I don't know whether we'll talk about the electoral reforms at some point. That's why, he has proposed those ridiculous electoral reforms. But anyhow, in our quest to show him that we are not just a wave, we are a serious group, which he has now begun to fear, we thought, let's begin to structure and organize this wave. It's good that the support is all over the place and so on, but that we must organize. And some people kept saying, form a political party. And we said, look, to be organized, you don't necessarily need to form a political party. And besides, we are providing a platform, in a way, trying to bring together the several political parties, but especially individuals that are interested in a smooth transition of power in this country, that are interested in seeing our country get better, that are interested in seeing a Uganda that works for all, whether you come from the ghetto or from Kololo, educated or not, young, old, rich, poor, whatever the case might be. And that's the journey that we took. Hence, the beginning to structure, the beginning to get organized, have coordinators, people who are going to do mobilization for us across the country in a way to... when we were young, we used to play around with magnifying glasses. You'd get a glass, and the magnifying glass, put it on top of a paper, and it would burn the paper. Why that happens is because there's rays all over the place, but when the rays are focused, they're a lot more effective. So we've had this support all over the place, call it rays. Now we are focusing it such that it can become effective, and that's the journey that we have begun.
So you don't think it is a bit naive publishing your war chest, putting out your commanders?
Look, we are cognizant of everything they are going to throw at us, including the chicken sink. But we are operating in a political environment, and we must do so. Because if somebody in Kabong, I have, for example, from the time I became spokesperson, I've been receiving calls from everywhere, and yet I cannot attend to all of them. So that if you're from Kabong, if you're from Tororo, there's somebody that, there's a group of coordinators that can attend to you. You don't have to reach out to the spokesperson or to the Honorable Chagulanyi, and so that's the essence. Yeah. President Museveni and his government, will obviously do whatever they have to do, and then they have begun, because the day after our declaration, we did see some people who did come out to denounce. And look, we were very expectant of this, even as a plan. We knew that after we have unveiled, these are coordinators, some of them might jump ship. I saw, for example, the Honorable Bildan Adome from Karamoja, and I also had the Honorable Susan Amero saying they were never consulted. And I thought, my goodness, politicians have mastered the art of being disingenuous, being dishonest. Look, everybody on the official list, there's been several lists that have been making the rounds on social media, fake lists, but there's one official list which I read at the press conference, and which we released. It has our logo, and it has my signature as spokesperson at the end. That's the only official list. So there are some names actually that don't appear on that list, but they're on these fake ones. I saw the Honorable Anna Deke and a couple of others. She's not on our official list. She's on that fake list, wherever it is from. But there are those again on the official list. But as I was saying, so there are those on the official list,
yes,
who have jumped ship, and like I was saying, it is okay, but they are being very dishonest, because we consulted each one of them, and they conceded. Look, I called the Honorable Adome the day before. Let me just finish this. Before the press conference, just to remind him. And he said, don't worry, I'm just going to run to Parliament, finish a quick meeting, then I'll join you for the press conference. Later in the evening, the man says, I was never consulted. But anyhow, we expected all of this. And that's okay. It's free entry, free exit, because anyhow, I have been getting numerous calls, some from MPs and a couple of other people complaining they were not included on the list. So we shall fill them up. That's what I'm saying. It's free entry, free exit. So if he comes back, why not?
Thinking about you personally, what inspired you to leave a good job with a national East African broadcaster and to join People Power that was shaky at the time?
Look, it's something that I excogitated over for months. It was not an easy decision.
Easier words, smaller words.
Since we have let me make it easy for him. It is something that I thought about. Jaja, calm down.
I feel you now you're being insolent to me.
So you thought about it, you worried about it
for months. It was not an easy decision. Journalism was always my first love. I began anchoring news and hosting talk shows in 2006 when I was 19 years old in my S6 VAC on UBC.
And
So
of
it
all
is something
parties,
that I
of
had
all political
always loved.
organizations, you went to People Power.
By the way, you see, People Power, the way it started, it didn't start expecting it would become what it is today. We were a group of guys, you know, friends that would meet up for tea. Some politicians, some journalists, lawyers, and so on, meet up in the evenings over a cup of tea and just talk about the goings on in our country, our professions, the issues we are struggling with. And then we kept, you know, discussing. We never, by the way, really thought it would become what it is today. But along the way, we thought we can do a couple of things, you know, and one of the activities was when we heard about this ridiculous social media tax, which these hypocritical MPs passed. Later on, learning it was a ridiculous thing. Even they did not want to pay it. They wanted us, the taxpayers, to pay it for them. But we thought, this is wrong. This is not even politics, it's economics.
So for People
And
Power, for
we
this
said, let's
particular
get
job,
involved.
Who called you? Who called you?
But I'm telling you how it started. I used to be a part of these
That's-
groups who would
I've
meet.
accepted that one. So
And
who
the
appointed
team,
you?
you know, kept saying, Joel, you should speak for this. And I said, no, I can't do this. So it was deliberation for quite a bit of time until I thought, you know what,
The people
somebody
personally-
has got to do
And
this.
finally, about you personally, who pays you? So who pays your salary?
Look, People Power has not yet grown to, and we hope to get there, by the way, where we can have, you know, resources coming in as
So at
quickly
the
as they
moment, are you a
should.
volunteer?
I'm a volunteer.
Right.
It's tough. It's not easy.
Yeah. Especially
Every
when you are competing with a well-facilitated
Oh.
democracy.
With 5 million.
So-
but you know, some of these tough decisions have got to be made, and you make your contribution, however small.
Okay. Lydia, here's an opportunity to wish People Power well. They are cleaning up as you wish them to do. They've published their leaders in different areas and all. You'd say now that they're maturing, because your first encounter with People Power, I remember you saying, was quite frightening. But now you have here is the face of People Power and people that can discuss and so on.
It's not true that I was frightened. Where did you get that from?
You told me yourself on
No,
Gang
I did
when
not.
you met
No,
the
Gang has
the,
records.
the
Replay.
voters. Yeah,
Replay.
Let me
Replay.
tell you what you said.
Replay. No,
You
don't
met
tell me.
your-
Replay the record. I mean, we have to be factual. Replay.
You met voters in
Even when you
said
show
they
him
frightened you. They were all wearing red.
I
and
didn't know
you
there
said
were
it
people
was
power. I
really
just I
scary.
described what I said. I never said it was people power. But you can replay
It looks
the
like
record.
a duck, walks like a duck, cracks like a duck.
I
It is
never
a
said
duck.
it was. I found thugs with stones stoning our vehicles. I never said it was people power. So I described the people I saw in the Bujiri by
So
elections.
this time round, will you
So
congratulate
is that what you
them?
call people power today?
This time
Then
round, will you
Ugandans have a
congratulate
resolution.
them?
Heckler in chief.
Will you congratulate them this time round?
No, not, I don't know what to say, because let me begin with a correction to Joel. Joel, even in the politics, whether you are lamenting God, people are now jumping ship, it's also good to be honest with yourself. You launched, was it yesterday or the other day, a team that is going to work with you, and if people were not consulted, or they feared, or they jumped out, they're not ready to stand day and night like some of us do for my party, it's okay. But for you to come and blame whatever has happened on your list, I was listening to you. If for you to come and blame whatever is happening to your list and people on the NRM and how President Museveni is such a scared, I think it's not fair, because he did not participate in your listing the people, he did not participate in your consulting them or omission or commission of it. But what is coming out that people have run away, many of them have run away from the list.
How many?
We have not had those that are joining.
Name the names.
How many?
My point
How?
is,
You said many.
many. I mean,
I only have
if-
Lydia's microphone on. So.
there are many. If you are telling us that your coordinators from Teso is a big district, it's a big region. It's the third biggest population. It is how the 11 districts. There are many. So if you are going to tell us that they are telling, they are not sure that they are not part of your list, you cannot blame that to President Museveni. I think be real
But
to
you
yourself.
blame
You are
President Museveni.
calling him the biggest coward. In what? How is his cowardice played out in your listing and
Do you want a
omission or
response?
commission? No, you know what I'm asking, because you are blaming. I'm putting, yeah, there's a moderator. We are putting direct question to your debate. So I think focus on your campaign. There are rights that are fundamental to you, and I even want to tell Oscar this, that Ugandans are free to organize, and the future of our country also belongs to the organized. let them organize, compete for power, and take it.
Okay.
But we don't. I don't want to sit here and listen to blame games on NRM on our leader. It's not correct. Just run the battle, put on your up your sleeves, fight your battle, win the vote, and lead us. I'll be in Uganda. I'll not stop being a Ugandan, and I'll look forward to leading me if you win a joint election. But blaming NRM, blaming President Museveni will not help you anyway. It will not help you because it won't help you. That's not the way to do things. And for those who have jumped in and those who are jumping out, it happens. It's very difficult to begin blaming the NRM for people who have jumped out or are jumping in.
Oscar, I don't know if Lydia was attentive.
I was listening
actually
to
did not blame
you. Respond again.
You said that the president is the coward, the most biggest coward. But that's a
matter of fact, he is.
point.
He's not.
That was a different
And I was
point.
talking about reforms when I said that.
Now. Thank you, Lydia.
Let me finish. We have a leader in the name of President Museveni, who is the government of Uganda, but also the chairman of the NRM. He's not a coward. He's a very firm leader. He's a firm Ugandan.
That's your opinion.
And we are with him, beside him, all the way
Thank you,
to
Lydia.
2021.
Thank you.
Okay.
Lydia, also accept that that's your opinion. So
Yeah, it is my opinion. And I'm also correcting facts here.
Okay.
That he's not a coward.
No, it's not a fact. It's an opinion.
It's a fact.
He's a
Well,
coward.
let's even take that Mr. Museveni is a coward.
Even Ofuna has admitted.
No, let's
Indeed.
So let's take that
Then
Mr.
what?
Museveni is a coward.
Then what?
So,
Yes.
so what?
Yeah. I agree with you on that one.
What is the evidence? And that will be tested. We say
The proposed electoral reforms.
the taste of the pudding is in the eating.
Yeah.
Now, electoral reforms, let me go there.
Who pays it?
Electoral reforms.
We'll do electoral reforms a little bit later. Let's look at the launch of people power.
No. Mr. Senyonyi is saying electoral reform is coming because they launched. And I am saying, no.
That's
You
not what
didn't
I
say
said.
that.
Electoral reform.
I don't know why these elders are not attentive.
Electoral reform.
Okay.
Electoral reform. 2015. You remember the citizens' compact? You remember
Ofuna,
iPod
don't let
discussion?
the point where you're
And so on and so
misinformed.
forth. No, don't froth in the mouth. I'm making my point. So, these are processes
You know, it's
which
like
have
writing your own exam paper and then starting
then
to answer.
2016, you remember the Supreme Court, and so on. So everybody in the country, I think majority of
We all
Ugandans
know that
have
nobody
been
disputed
agitating
that.
for electoral
Nampi,
reform.
just hold on.
So I think
Yes.
it is wrong, it is false
When
for
Lydia is
somebody.
next on microphone, she
Is
will
it-
say something
Yes,
about
it is.
forward language.
Yes, it is false
in
to
your
say
favor.
that electoral reforms or any government interventions tomorrow is coming because of them. But that's okay. Mr. Senyonyi can drum their
But he
cheeks
didn't
if
say
there's
that.
nobody. Two, you said he had a good job. I'm sure he had a written terms and conditions of service. You can go and check how much he was earning, what was his career growth path. And you
In
see-
terms of Uganda
No,
2020,
no,
you should be
yes,
proud
no.
of a job he had.
No,
That's what you're saying.
no.
So that
I
other
was
people
actually
can
very
like
proud
it.
of my job.
Yeah,
Extremely.
No,
But now
no.
we're going into Lugambo.
So, we can go and check
Yeah.
his terms and conditions of service. What was his salary? What was his career
Yeah.
growth? Maybe he had reached the end point of
What's your
the
point?
job. Three, Mr. Senyonyi obviously, and many people who are saying in people power, it's okay, let them form. I do consider people power, and I've said on this show, that it is a passing wave. How long will it last? Time will tell.
Will it be eaten like samosa?
Time, I'm saying, time will tell. I just think many of them, first of all, as you know, if you have been reading the papers, many of them are people who have declared intentions to stand in different constituencies. Mr. Senyonyi was a candidate in the previous election. He was clobbered. And I think youth elections, he was clobbered, wanted to be a member of parliament in the youth.
That wasn't the previous election, it was 2011.
Yeah,
This man
that's
died to even
previous.
have
That's
facts.
previous. Please understand English. That's previous. So, many of these people, I think, who think that this wave can carry them to the next political journey. I think also many of them are people simply blending in the crowd, and they are going to go through the revolving door. This is what I think. Yeah, I think, I think so.
Or a direct question to you.
Chemical
Do you think people power is a threat to NRM or not?
Yes, it is. It is a threat to NRM. First of all, because of the mendacious way they do their things.
We said use easy words today.
Mendacious.
So to make a comeback.
Mendacious. If somebody says himself is a coward,
Yeah.
when the record states otherwise, then is mendacious, is not genuine.
Right.
So, yes, it is a threat in the sense that some of the things they are raising are genuine because NRM raised the expectation, NRM made pledges, NRM has been in charge for 33 years, NRM has been in charge of public resources, and we are not meeting those expectations as Ugandans expect. So in that sense, they are a threat because they are raising a genuine concern, which in my view, NRM is not paying adequate attention to. And I think we should be able to do so. Now, the other one, they are a threat because if you can see that People Power can have 14 MPs, sitting MPs, never mind, never mind the ones who have declined, never mind their intention. Some of them think that there's money going to come in the pocket. They are eyeing, you know,
which perhaps is not a bad thing.
Yeah, no, not a bad thing. Remember when somebody said he was running for president from being a prime minister of Uganda, they thought he had money. When he did not give the money, you know where he ended. So it is a threat in the sense that if they can have 14 members of parliament who can publicly associate with them, it is a threat not just to NRM, it is a threat to the established political narrative. And we should be able to say, if these People Power can bring people, long-serving MPs, like Honorable Kasian Wadri, holding on the court of a member of parliament who is 1 year old, Honorable Winnie Kize can hold on a court of, you know, then in that sense,
On whose court are you holding?
I just think,
He's on petty court.
I just think,
Somebody asks for you, whose court are you holding?
I'm holding the court of Uganda. I'm holding on the court of Uganda. I just think that many of these are opportunists, schemers. And I dare say.
And is there anything wrong with that?
No, there's nothing wrong. I dare say.
Like NRM.
They are going to fall like a pack of cards.
NRM is still
Honorable
doing quite
Katuntu.
All the
with its
muchaka.
opportunist pack of
Honorable
cards.
Katuntu.
But
Why
it has
are you
held
not
on
on
You deny
this?
that they
It has
are?
held on for 48 years.
Exactly.
And Nafi, please. Why Abdul, are you not on the list? I'll ask Semuju the same question.
Why should I be on the list?
Wadri is there.
It's not where Wadri is that I should be.
Reasons. He doesn't
right.
appreciate it.
First of all, I'll have to congratulate the People Power movement for having gotten a team and also to start structuring themselves and compete for political power. You see, what has happened, for example, with our neighbors in Kenya, at every election, there is a lot of realignments of forces and so on, and they create special purpose vehicles to compete for power. At the end of the day, you always have two forces competing for power, real forces.
Or three.
Not three, you only have two. You know, it's like maybe in the US, it is always about the Republicans and the Democrats almost everywhere. So, what I think, I haven't had time to discuss it with any of them, but I'm just speculating. What I think they are trying to do is to create that sort of forum where they can have an opposition as against the status quo. In Uganda, unfortunately, you will not have two, you now have three. Can they reconcile with what they call the people's government, for example? Because I see the people's government doing its parallel activities, and sometimes when you read the model, a little bit conflicting with the People Power movement. Is it possible for them to come to the same forum, and then you have that movement as opposition, and then whether they get married, People Power and the People's Government, then you have another group, the NRM. That we are yet to see. But you see, you call this a wave, and I agree with you, this is a wave. It's a wave. But by the time the wave subsides, it has casualties.
Some casualties.
It has casualties. And you've started. Hold on. You have started counting your losses. Yeah. You've started because I see your MPs this side openly say, this is not the thing we should be, and so on. And this is just the beginning. We are saying from leadership level. Now we want to see how it goes down. And let me tell you, these guys are not looking for money. You're not being honest. But
who is not looking for money?
He said that these MPs who are joining People
There is no
Power,
opportunists.
But let me tell you what
NRM
happened.
is one giant
And
opportunist.
I have been this thing, for quite a long time.
I've been longer there than you.
Politics for quite a long
I've
time.
been longer in politics than you. You remember our school days?
It doesn't matter.
Stop quickly.
No, we've spent the same time. I don't think we've been there longer than me. Right from our days as youth leaders in the UPC. So,
Yes, I've been longer there than you.
So what happened
Please,
is
Abdu, don't remind us.
No, Abu and I were in the
This is
jig.
on microphone.
We were in the jig, so you know, I was
please.
one of the students.
so what these people are looking at is reading the mood of the nation and looking at the demography of the country, what is exciting people and what can give them an opportunity. It is no longer fashionable to go to the youth and say, here I am, we are movement people. I'm telling you, it is not fashionable at all. Just go there and say, this is People Power, and then you see how the youth will react and so on. And we have a child population, as you know. The majority of our people are below the ages of 25, and if you want people who are energetic, people who are daredevils, these joelers who will say anything regardless of what, who will do anything, that is the consequence.
Saying things like coward.
Oh yes, on his face, on anybody's face. There are not many.
I remember 2001 when you took on Mzee.
Yes, I was the Joel Edge.
Yeah, I remember.
I'm now an old man. I was the Joel Edge. I still had the fire and the belly, and I could do these things. So, does any political actor take People Power seriously? It would be naive of anybody not to.
Yeah.
Big naivety not to. Not to. So what they have to do is to do calculations. And when I see some of the electoral forms coming, the particular provisions, you are not supposed to ally with an independent candidate when he's campaigning for presidents and so on. I read a little bit of People Power scare. And then you want to use the law to fight your political battles, which is actually
We're going to talk about it in a minute.
Yes.
Just a direct question to you, Abdul, before you go off microphone here. Is, OO is annoyed. Does People Power evoke annoyance like the one OO is exhibiting this morning?
Am I annoyed?
Oh, yes.
I have said
But the question was to Abdul.
No, but you see.
First of all, are you annoyed? Yes, you are annoyed, and men are annoyed, and you're entitled to be annoyed anyway. And there's reason for you to be annoyed. So really, that's going to be a big problem. Why? Because the wave is subsiding, but somehow you are counting losses. That you can't be happy with it, can you?
We stop, Robert.
No, his food is threatened. Hey, if Aaron gets out of
we are
power,
going to
where will you be? Where are you going to be?
Stand by. Stand by.
And then you went to NRM. Well, at least you've never been. You've never been in that violence. I don't understand how you're doing in NRM.
Welcome back from the break. Namfi, you are on air. Namfi, why isn't your name on the list?
Of people power,
People power list.
it is going to be on the list. I think in my home area, I'm the people power mobilizer.
Right. And Namfi,
Then
will
it will
you,
be there.
at the same time,
First, yes.
Hold on. Will you find time to apologize to people power people? Because as we say in Uganda, in the beginning, you looked down on them. You nearly chewed.
Why, Oscar? Why are you this person who speaks like this? Oscar.
It is your turn as well.
First, you see,
you nearly chewed Semuju here, and Semuju told you join in and everything.
No.
So you start with an apology that when people power first came.
But if she says she's going to be a mobilizer, Oscar, why
it's
do you have
it's
to
as
wrap
good
it
enough.
in?
Okay.
No, Oscar.
Man in Nyenga.
Ayogera bubi.
What's what to be
Now,
an
what I'm
engineer?
saying is, of course, when they first came to power, you see,
Which power?
when they first came to power,
To the fore.
when someone criticizes you, in my language, we say a person who loves is the one who criticizes you. A fly which loves you will fall on your wound to tell you that you need to treat this wound. You understand the saying? I did not criticize people power because I thought what they were onto was wrong. No. I did not criticize Honorable Chagulanyi because what I thought they were onto was wrong, was a wrong path. No. I just criticized them so that they can see the weakness, work on them, and do a better job if we are to get this coward out of power. And he's a coward because if you stop a mere musician half your age from staging shows, if you stop people walking to work from demonstrating that we are unhappy with the status quo and we need to do better.
A little while
If
ago,
you beat up
you and Joe saying that have stopped you, but the president clarified and he said
that he doesn't mind
that he doesn't
being
mind.
insulted.
Yes.
Oh, no,
But
because
annoying his person is not annoying.
exactly. So if it's our opinion, it's whoever's opinion, and in my opinion, this is a raging coward. He's been a coward for years and years, and he's still a coward. Unfortunately, I'm not those people who think that people who go to the bush and kill people are courageous. No, they are cowards as well. So this whole story that I brought peace when you took the peace away is cowardly as well. So that aside, I think first, Joel, let me say thank you for getting out there, getting out of your comfort zone and coming to the fore to try and fight for what we all want to fight for. I refuse to sit here and criticize their effort and what they're trying to do. Does it have weaknesses? Yes. Do they have opportunists amongst them who are going to try and weaken the party and all the... Yes, they will, because this is the nature of the game. This is the nature of politics. That will be there. But I'm happy that they are coming to put systems in place, that they are trying to put certain structures to try and make what they are trying to do more legitimate and to go forward to a more legitimate standing. Where it will all end, I hope it will end with Uganda getting better leaders for tomorrow. We sit here and every day criticize the youth, the elite, and people who, you know, are in good positions from not joining politics and not trying to change lives. And these young men and women have gotten out of their comfort zone, have left their jobs, which I don't care how much they were earning or which pinnacle they have reached or Fonopondo. These were their jobs which did not threaten them with imprisonment every day, to try and say, look, we as young people deserve better. We as young people want to get the future, put it in our hands and take it to the next level. Will it be perfect? No, it's not going to be perfect. They're going to be, but we have to start somewhere. And kudos for people power. We have started somewhere. They have started somewhere to take us to the next level. At least I liked the fact that there were no old, you know, like it was not filled with old, tired people who have been paid off by NRM time and time again and who use an opportunity to just further their stomachs. I liked that. I like that it's young people who are trying. Of course, it doesn't look good when the immediate outcome is full figure quarreling with Bobby Wine. No, that doesn't look. And these are areas they need to work on. They need to be more serious and send more serious messages than Mama Fina or full figure kind of thing. But having said that,
Mama Fina is not power.
Mama Fina is an area.
Well, whatever, Mama Fina is in Arabia. But what I'm saying is,
you go to people power.
I am in people power of honor.
Yeah.
All of us should be, even you, because your children are in this country that you're trying to ruin.
So it doesn't matter what you say, you're in NRM, boo-hoo for you,
My
you
children
are
are
eating and your
age.
stomach is fat.
You-
But a
my
time will
children
come
are
when
your
it
age
won't
and
be
they
like that.
don't
And
know
then
how
what do
to
you do then? Once upon a time, people like you were eating, and then the other day, the next time they were not eating because they fell out of favor with the president. So what happens to them?
conclusion,
So in conclusion,
Like who?
it's like a young child who is trying to get off their feet. You do not criticize them when they fall. It's part of the process. Those silly childish MPs who during the day appear to be one thing and at night appear to be another are part of the process. And Joel, take heart, they will be part of the process. They say nothing about your effort. They say nothing about people power and where people power wants to go. Stick to your agenda. Stick to your desire to make this country better, and that is the message that you should be getting out of there. Do not be dragged down in petty quarrels and petty discussions. If someone tells you that this MP refused to be part of people power when they're in the list, tell them that is not our point. Our point is we want a better country, and we are willing to take it better and to make it better. It's as simple as that.
Okay.
Whichever MP comes on and off, that is their problem, not yours.
Thank you, Nam. Honorable Semuju, begin by congratulating Nampi on a different kind of speech.
People power.
I told her,
Yeah.
I remember that time which he wanted to rewind,
Yeah.
that you need to go and do something instead of all the time criticizing. Because I am happy and I want to congratulate her. That now she says she's people power. With a little bit of training, she will be a very good leader.
Because I want to be a
Is
leader.
that a compliment?
A backhanded one. But she should also be wanting to be a
But I
leader.
want to congratulate people power for
Yes,
shaping up.
before you congratulate them,
Yeah.
I have Tony Kent Chaze here on Twitter. He says, it replays a bit of what we've been saying. At Samuel Msuke, why are you asking Katuntu, why are you not on the list? So Abdul says, why should I be on that list? And then Chaze says, it's not a presidential handshake list. And Kasigaire says, that's the one I should be on. So, Honorable Semuju, why aren't you on that list?
He's wearing an FDC shirt and he's back in blue.
I am in the FDC.
Okay. There were some FDC people.
Yes,
who
that's the
attended
point. That's the
that,
point I want to make next. They are going to meet some of the problems we've made, asking leaders to make themselves available. Where we are now, and I think it's a point Dr. SJ made when he was addressing the People's Assembly. The leaders are making calculations. In the last election, they had an MP because I was in charge of.
Some of the challenges. Why this what you call a leader? What do you call it? People's Assembly.
Yeah.
Why was it at a home? And
Why don't I first finish this, Oscar?
Okay.
Yeah.
As long as you don't forget this.
You're going to
question.
interrupt. So part of the challenge, I was in charge of Dr. SG's nomination 2016. People you know that actually these ones, at least for them, people we knew that these are FDC. They denounce you immediately. But I had an MP whose name I will not say.
They're coward today.
That MP met Museveni, and she was a part of Museveni's meeting preparing for his nomination. In the evening, she was meeting Mama Mbabas. And then when I go to Nambo to nominate VSG, I found her seated there. So within 3 days, she had been in 3 camps that were competing. So these things are here. You are going to meet them, Senyun, but they shouldn't tie you. There are people who will want something from people power because tenants is their electoral fortunes. They will want to go to Museveni for money because they need to print posters. If they are in an area that is FDC, they will want to nominate as FDC MPs. They will want to have everything. And that has been a very big challenge that we made, that you will meet. But I congratulate you by shaping up now. It becomes easier to begin
Get rid
a
of
discussion with those of us who are institutionalized in in politics. Because you see, the moment you don't have an institution that people can engage with, it becomes difficult, even to hold you to your own words and because you see, the word you've said as an individual you can change, and but institutions can be consulted. One other problem you're going to find is going to be from us who are already there. I know that when the Abdus were starting FDC, they faced it. Honorable Manya Mshega told me, because one time I attended the meeting of FDC and they are very angry that DP is attacking us. He said, I am shocked. The moment you are new and you are recruiting from existing platforms, you should expect them to be angry. They can't be cheering you up.
It's part of it.
Because the recruitment...
The People's Assembly was a response. But
because you are recruiting from them, or you have people who are either by their own volition and surrendering and joining. So, you may not have... Of course, Museveni is going to be a problem, as there has always been. But you should also expect a problem from existing political institutions, either fighting for survival or when you begin now feasting on the leaders they have ring-fenced as theirs. So certainly there will be a problem. You will be discussed not only in Entebbe but also everywhere where there is a political institution. I hope, and it has always been my hope, that people who are fighting to free themselves will be able to have a discussion and work together. Because these reforms that you see, this is how Museveni responds. First, there will be money and there is money. These meetings he's been holding, I asked people, if for the last 34 years you've made people rich, then why do you have to carry money to meetings to give them transport fund? That NRM leaders, yes, NRM leaders and councillors, including at a district level, have no transport to go to Lugogo to attend a meeting, and even that transport you must come with it. Then you don't have to involve yourself in discussing.
You have that challenge in FDC. You have to give transport.
Yeah, because you see, again, I'll use
transport to Kira.
Donna Mushega told me, when you live with a neighbor who batters his wife, he will want everybody to do the same. So he faces less criticism or nobody can stand up to him. So by the things Museveni has done to NRM and to the county, he wants them done in other parties. And you hear them say, but is there a difference? They will not tell you that Museveni is good. They will tell you, but you're also not different.
I was about to say the same.
Yeah, exactly. So that is going to be said and deliberated. So we face it. Politics has been highly commercialized in Uganda. Simple meetings. The first thing people ask is a transport fund. Maybe they haven't faced it. I remember moving with the USG. You go to a meeting. Presidential candidate is looking for fuel, but there are also others who are looking for money to print posters there. And the moment you show up, you are in trouble. What people power and movement of that nature can help, they may shield you from that responsibility. But the moment you institutionalize, you are in trouble. Because people who want to stand and they will tell you, where I am the only people, can you send me this? And if you're not sending, or phone is sending, so they become vulnerable and they want the help. So the real trouble you're going to face now, all of us, this, from the way I see the movements on the ground, the troops on the ground, might be the most difficult elections this country has witnessed. The soldiers must be freed from their work 5 days before. So should be the police. Of course, everybody has seen how money is moving. So we are headed for the most difficult elections this country has ever had. And that's why you see Ofono now. Even the declaration of results is going to change. There will even be creation of restricted polling stations.
Okay. The Joe back on microphone, and there's a Frederick Karamaji here, who is one of those people that are ready for you. Says, I was wondering whether Joe is in the house, or are you replaying his submission on Spectrum last evening? And this was because last evening he used the exact words in the same order, even intonation. So says him.
Is that the message I saw from sending?
Well,
yeah, because you see, we have been responding to the same questions. Please protect me from Jaja. We have been responding to the same questions, and we'll keep responding. One of which being, the denouncements. There's been 2 MPs that have denounced us. And I'm saying it's okay. We anticipated this, by the way, as a plan. Yeah.
It's the way of
I just hope that they would be honest and say, guys, you know, we are under pressure. You know, we had accepted, but we are now backing down. But they're saying we were never consulted. Are you kidding me? How do we come up with a list and announce people that we were not consulting? You know. But anyhow, I guess that's politics. You know, many times politicians are disingenuous, they're dishonest. We just have to find ways of dealing with that. But then again, it does not worry us too much, because as some jump off, we'll keep moving with those that are available.
Joel, opposition has had bigger challenges than just people denying that they've been consulted. That's a small thing.
Well, the two, by the way, are NRM MPs, just for the record.
Yeah, but
So
you don't
why was
say-
the launch? Someone didn't answer this one. Why was the launch at Honorable Chagulanyi's house?
Again, at the risk of sounding like a broken record, we have said it again and again, and at the start of that press
You haven't said it
statement.
at
That's all right. Look, we went across town asking for space from different hotels, and they all declined. And some were very honest and said, guys, you know, we love you and what you do, but please have mercy on us. We shall end up in trouble with the regime. And we were very understanding. I'm not even too sure I should blame them entirely. Yeah, of course, we were disappointed that they could not offer us space. But then again, you try and understand. Because like I said, the big coward in President Museveni wants to inoculate that fear, the same cowardice in everyone else. Which is unfortunate, and that's why we keep, you know, telling people, guys, this man is a lot more fearful of us. So we need to keep moving on strongly and facing. Somebody talked about, I think it's Ofono Pond, who said NRM is not paying adequate attention to the needs of Ugandans. That's for sure. And that's why we are coming through and saying, look, you know, we have had these guys, they have played their part. It's time to shake up things, you know. It's time to fix institutions. You see, we have one big challenge, that we have a big personality as opposed to big institutions. We want that to change. We want to have big institutions that are accountable. We want power to return to people. Today, people cannot hold their leaders accountable. Our leaders will do whatever it is that they want to do, and there's nothing you're going to do about it. Why? Because power was taken away from you, and they're saying that has got to change. Now, if you talked about criticism, look, I'm one of the biggest lovers of criticism. I like it. I actually like it a lot more. I get many calls of people who appreciate and, you know, and say many different things. But I'll be honest, I appreciate a lot more of the calls that come through and say, guys, clean up here, sort out this, sort out the other. I love criticism. I like to think it makes me better. Whatever you can throw at us, some of us have developed shock absorbers, yeah? But the point is, if somebody is pointing out something that needs to be worked on, I think for me that is welcome. You know, so as they talked about, you know, structures and all these different things, we realized that's something we needed to do. And here we are. And we'll keep strengthening them. And to encourage a number of our colleagues, because, you know, while there's two that have said, no, we're not party to this, there's numerous ones who are complaining and saying, guys, you left us out and so on. Look, we cannot have positions available to everybody. People Power has numerous supporters. We can't have everybody on board in place of a position somewhere. But we are saying, if you joined this for the love of not just People Power, but your country, you wanted to get better, then you should not be too bothered about a position, you know, because I want to imagine you didn't join because you wanted a position. So a position has not come. That's all right. Keep mobilizing. Do whatever it is that you need to do as well.
Joe, let's stop for a break, and I want to understand the proposed electoral reforms. I'll go to senior counsel here in a short time. We have
Madness.
Politicians want a mistake.
Politicians.
If you want people to